What's good, everyone? I'm basketball mentor Tyler Matthews. I've scored over 1,000 points in my career. I've went D3 and I've played all 4 years varsity. And today I'm going to give you 4 triple threat moves that you can use in your games today. These moves worked for me throughout my career, and being able to blow by your defender without dribbling is extremely important, so pay attention. So the first one, guys, is just the rip through, but a lot of people do it the wrong way. And I'm gonna show you guys why. And the reason why a lot of people do the rip through wrong is because they only use 2 of the 3 things you need for a good rip through. And I say this all the time: you need your ball, your foot, and your shoulder going in that direction. If you don't have all 3, then it's not good. If I only use my ball and foot, it looks like that. If I only use my shoulder and my foot, it looks like this. So you gotta use all 3, and you gotta rip through, you know, in a low fashion, kind of like you're making a U. You know what I mean? Boom, boom, check mark, Nike. But anyway, you gotta rip through, and then you gotta get there. The second thing that a lot of people mess up on is their foot placement. A lot of people are placing their foot this way, or their face. It's not going this way. You gotta go toward the rim so that you can explode for a fast first step. So when you're ripping through, you're almost in a lunge position and you're pushing off your back foot. I like to push off the side of my foot. If you do this, then not as explosive, right? If you push off of more surface area, if you're on the side of your foot, you get more explosion, versus if I'm on my toe on my back foot and I'm ripping, not as much. So that's what I like to do too. When you rip off, you push off the side of your foot, you get your foot as far as you can out without traveling, and then you go. The third thing that people mess up on the rip is they think this is a travel. If I lift this pivot foot and I dribble, then it's a travel. Technically, it is, but do they call it? No. You can watch all film, college, high school, NBA. If you rip fast enough, you can lift this foot off and dribble, right? If I do it slowly, yep, that looks like a travel. If I do it fast, it doesn't look like a travel. As long as it looks smooth, it looks good. The reason why refs call a lot of stuff is because your moves just don't look good. They don't look smooth. They don't look clean. And so think about this. Refs are seeing stuff. That's it. They're seeing in real time. So in real time, if it can look good and clean, that's why a lot of NBA players get away with travels. They're the most athletic, best moving athletes in the world. So that's why they get away with a lot of stuff. And I got away with a lot of travels too, just because I was going full speed, I was able to move well, and all that stuff. And there's a lot of stuff that goes into moving well, but we're not getting into that. Second triple threat move that I really love is the jab. So the jab, it's the same thing as a rip. You still need ball, foot, shoulder, right? Shoulder, ball, foot. But instead of obviously going that way, we're jabbing and we're redirecting this foot to go this way. Notice how even when I'm ripping, right, I'm going off the side of my foot. So it should look no different when you're jabbing. This foot is still getting on its side like I'm gonna rip, but now I'm just stopping on a dime with my right foot, and then I gotta redirect this foot as quickly as I can around this guy's foot, his top foot, whichever top foot it is. And that's going into a whole different topic of, if the defender's top foot is his right foot, and I'm jabbing, I gotta redirect it around here. If his top foot is left, you gotta make him open up and then go the other way. And so when you're jabbing, you just gotta make sure you're doing ball, foot, shoulder. You're getting out just as much as the rip, but you don't have to do it in the same direction, if that makes sense. A rip, I'm trying to go as quickly north and south as possible. But on a jab, you don't necessarily jab forward, right? I don't like when people jab to the side or backward, right? But you can, I like to jab a little bit forward and more to the side, right? Not as much like a rip, but like right here, right? About 6 inches above your left foot. I'm jabbing, And there's different types of jabs. You can put the ball, you know, to your foot. You can put it in between your legs, whatever works, and then redirect it, and then get downhill. The biggest mistake when someone's doing a jab is when they do a jab, they're redirecting their foot all the way back to like west and east, where they're going too much to the side. If you're gonna jab, right, like right here, you gotta make sure to redirect your foot going north and south toward the rim. Big difference, and your steps have to be long and fast. A lot of kids are just going too slow, and a lot of kids just aren't athletic enough to get by their defender off a triple threat move. And that's not a problem skill-wise, that's a problem athletic-wise. Gotta do more sprints, gotta do more lifting, all that stuff. And now the third triple threat move that I love is the pro jab, or the shimmy. I like to call it the shimmy because it looks like a shimmy shimmy. When you go here, instead of doing just a jab, you're going jab, you're keeping your foot right here, coming back, and then ripping through. So it's literally like a jab, come back, rip. Right? Full speed, it looks like this. Jab, boom, boom, go. And so when you're doing the shimmy, you just got to make sure to keep that foot extended and stay there. Right? So on a jab, I'm going here, redirecting. On a pro jab or a shimmy, I'm going jab, keep that foot here, come back, raising my hips, shoulders, and then bringing the ball back to my left hip, and then ripping again. So if I do it in front of you guys, it's boom, come back, and then go. Full speed though, it looks like, and then I'm gone. Really freezes the defender 9 times out of 10, I promise that. And the fourth and last triple threat move that I use the most, and I know works in a game, is the overstep. So let's just say a defender is pressuring you a lot, right? You don't want to face up against that defender. You want to protect the ball. So you got to step through, right? You can step through, or I call it like kind of like an overstep, step through. And so you get him off you. But the point is to create separation, but also the point is to get your foot over his foot. So if I'm defending like this, right, really pressuring you, and my foot's right here, if you step over his foot, you already won the game. All you have to do is get over this foot, and then you're gone. The number one mistake I see people do with this is they don't time their dribble correctly. When you're going and you're overstepping, or you're stepping through, stepping around his top foot, you got to make sure to dribble at the same time as you step with that right foot. So when you step with that right foot, I'm exploding out and I'm gone, going for a layup. And then there's also variations to this. My good Miles Shea taught me this. He's at UNLV right now. He goes here, and as he steps, he brings this shoulder back to act like he's gonna spin, and then he keeps going. So this move is tough. He's here, and then he goes back, right? It's just a simple kind of like freeze move again to keep the defender frozen, and you're gone. So it's boom, and then I go. So that's a variation to it. And then obviously the counter to it, you could always go here into a spin move and so forth, right? So a lot of options. Or you can even do, a lot of people do this too, where you step through, maybe you step in between his legs this time, boom, come back, shot, right? You get them to back up, all that good stuff. So yeah, those are the 4 moves: the rip, the jab, the pro jab / shimmy, I like to call it shimmy, and then the kind of step through / overstep. And then you got those variations in between. So if you want to increase your scoring average and get more minutes, implement these moves right away. Triple threat is very important. And if you're new to my channel, thanks for coming, thanks for watching, and let me know in the comments what you want to see next. Deuces.